locations, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
I'm here with our good friend, John Kendall. He's got 23 years of retail mortgage experience in the Tennessee Valley, and he's powered up with the #1 retail mortgage lender in the nation.
That's right, Scott. We have joined with Cross Country Mortgage, and that is true. We're the #1 retail mortgage lender in America. And with that powerhouse team and our experience here locally, we're ready to go.
They've got 120 mortgage, refinance, and home equity solutions to fit every need. If you call on Cross Country Mortgage, it is for the win.
That's right. You can reach me, Scott, at 256-562-3780, or you can go to crosscountrymortgage.com and then search my name.
It's Cross Country Mortgage and John Kendall, a powerhouse team. One more time, John.
That's crosscountrymortgage.com, 256-562-3780. If we can't close your loan, it simply cannot be closed.
Equal Housing Opportunity Company in MLS, number 3029.
This is Steve Moulton from 97.7 ESPN The Zone, and this is What's Happening. Be sure and download our app. Just search 977 ESPN in your Google Marketplace or your Apple Store, depending on your device, so you can take us wherever you might go. And you can also check out our latest zone deals. Head over to our website, 977ESPN.com. The top left banner reads, "Savings never tasted so good." Click on that, then enter in the big zone deals store for half-off zone deals of Lawler's Barbecue, Sea Salt, Carrabba's Italian Grill, Bubby's Diner, Corlejos Mexican Grill, Bad Daddy's Burger Bar, Divergence, Full Moon Barbecue, Bigfoot Little Donuts, Hickory Store Barbecue, Good Company Cafe, Apple Lane Farms, the Decatur location, and rounds of golf at Cherokee Ridge Golf Course and Gunter's Landing. And that's what's happening.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. Your home of the Crimson Tide Sports Network. This is Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Doug Brown. ESPN's Shams Charania reports the Knicks are interviewing Timberwolves assistant Micah Norrie for New York's head coaching job. He'll be the third candidate to interview, joining two former NBA head coaches, Mike Brown and Taylor Jenkins. Pacers guard Tyrese Halliburton posts on social media he doesn't regret trying to play through his right calf strain. Halliburton says he'd do it again for the chance to do something special. He had surgery Monday night on his torn right Achilles. He'll likely miss all of next season. Mariners catcher Cal Raleigh hit his major league leading 32nd home run Monday night. Seattle beats the Twins 11-2. Raleigh is the first switch hitter to hit 30 or more home runs before the All-Star break. And in his last 30 games, he's hit 17 home runs.
The company is Eagle Masonry and Insulation, but did you know they're also Eagle Landscaping and Dirt Work? Eagle can take care of all your landscaping needs, including irrigation, sod work, and planting, both plants and trees. On the dirt work side, Eagle can grade and build your pads, haul dirt in or out, and even do erosion control. Philip Love and his team can do it all for you. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
The Atlanta Braves.
3-2. Swung on, ground ball up the middle. Let's go for a ride. Here comes Eli. Across the plate standing. Braves win. Never gets old, does it?
All season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Joe Hunk. John Abraham. 256-576-4977. Welcome to the Blitz.
Hello and welcome in to another edition of the Blitz. John Abraham, Joe Hunk, 2 hours straight of sports talk, goops, gaps, all of that good stuff, as well as ADHD hosts that are supposed to be doing a show. But Joe decided to start looking up videos of Heath Ledger's Joker.
Look, man, I blame Drew on this. It's not my fault.
I was surprised he was talking about it. He's surprisingly a pretty big Batman fan. So
and we talked about this the other day because a couple of days ago was the 20-year anniversary of the movie Batman Begins being released.
Wild.
And I'd said that I got my son watching it for the very first time. I forgot how amazing Batman Begins is because of obviously how great The Dark Knight is and Dark Knight Rises. So we start watching it, and the next thing you know, Drew comes in, is like, I love that you're getting your son to watch Batman Begins. I said, bro, I forgot how good the movie is. So we then start going down this rabbit hole. It's amazing how much can happen in like 3 minutes in between the two shows.
It really happened so fast.
It really did. So we start going down this rabbit hole about how fantastic the Christopher Nolan series was, and Heath Ledger, and obviously, you know, Tom Hardy, and all the whole thing that went down, and we totally forget, Ra's al Ghul in the first one and who played him and how amazing. So you're starting to go down this rabbit hole.
You got all
Scarecrow was in there as well, which he becomes a recurring character, especially in Batman Rises.
Whenever he gets sprayed
Dark Knight Rises
by his spooky juice and then he sees Batman, that scene right there will live with the child forever.
Look, the whole thing, like now my son's going, does that really happen if you fall down in caves? I was like, well, I mean, I don't know, but look at what happened in the end. He found himself the Bat Cave. Like it was that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. And so we start going down it, and I start telling John and Drew, I said, the other day I found a video of the person that Heath Ledger based his can't say like his voice on,
his version of the Joker.
Yeah, like he combined a bunch of different people, obviously, to come up with the Joker character. But the actual verbiage, the way in which he presented his voice, all of that, like he based it off of a person. And there's like an interview that people have been showing online that shows that person's interview as compared to like Heath Ledger's Joker and how similar they are. And I was trying to find it for the guys. And so now I'm going down a rabbit hole because I can't find the thing. And John's like, hey, we're starting here in a few seconds. Yeah. Hey, we're about to start. Hey, Joe, the show's about to start. I'm like, I'm trying to find this video.
Just go sit over in your damn seat.
So here we are. As I'm trying to do all of the social media stuff right now because I went down this rabbit hole with Heath Ledger.
Well, it's all right, Joe, because I'll take away the rest. Yesterday, of course, a very fun day in the MLB. The Braves actually did follow up their performance against the Mets with some more wins, this time in New York. And I got to admit, very fun to see more than one pitcher be pretty reliable for this Braves squad. Schwellenbach, of course, got this start. He had a pretty decent game, I will say. The young stud, he performed a lot better than what we saw last time he was out on the mound, and of course taking care of Blackburn on the mound for the Mets. And on top of that,
should have actually been worse with Blackburn because they missed a few opportunities.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, lots of guys left on for the Braves in the beginning as well as at the end of this one. But Dylan Lee comes in. And he's able to finish it out. And I love what I'm seeing from him. It was a consistent showing. It was 2 innings of just pure dominance from Dylan Lee. And I want to see more
nervous.
of it, though. I didn't feel nervous either.
I actually wasn't nervous. And I was even more nervous because Iglesias was the one that was pitching the 8th inning to start it off.
It's like, take him out. Just take him out.
I was like, they moved Iglesias to the 8th inning because my mind, I'm watching it. I'm playing PlayStation at the same time because that's what I do. Mm-hmm. And I'm watching the game. And in my head, I could hear the announcer saying, Iglesias here in the 8th inning. And instead, in my head, I'm still going, wait a second, is this the 9th? Oh, crap, it's a 1-run ball game. And they're bringing Iglesias in the 9th. And I had to look at the score and I go, oh, it's the 8th inning. Iglesias has been brought down to the setup man. I'm okay with this. I know that they're trying to figure out who the closer is going to be. And then when they gave it to Lee, I said, I oddly am not freaking out right now.
Yeah.
Like I'm not as worried. By the way, Iglesias got pulled because he couldn't get all 3 outs because he had a runner on first and third and they had to bring Dylan Lee in sooner. Just saying. Sorry.
Should have brought him in even sooner. The nail biting consisted of Juan Soto's 2-run home run that he had in the bottom of the 6th, giving it his 17th of the year. And I see that number and I think about a guy like Juan Soto and I'm thinking, yeah, that's pretty impressive. But I look over at some of the other games that happened last night. Of course, the Yankees lose to the Reds. The only run was by Aaron Judge in the very first, and they fall apart. I look over at Seattle, and I was not thinking that I'd see anything crazy.
Cal Raleigh.
But Cal Riley is an absolute beast. Let me tell you the stats that he's had through the last 30 games, okay? He's hitting .331. He's 39 for 118. He's got 17 home runs and 36 RBIs. This is a guy that's currently got 32 home runs on the year, and he's only a few home runs away from what we saw a guy that I think everybody kind of knows. Barry Bonds' his name. Everybody kind of knows who Barry Bonds is. The record that he had back in 2001, where he was able to get to 39 before the All-Star break, and of course he ended that season with 73.
Yeah.
So, we got a few more days. We know when the All-Star break's going to be because, Joe, it's going to be SEC,
It's gonna be SEC media days. Yeah, absolutely.
So that's only a few weeks away. And honestly, at the pace that Cal Riley has been hitting, I'm just saying we might have somebody else we got to kind of start looking at as the home run king in the MLB.
Look, first off, Aaron Judge is the home run king in Major League Baseball. I will die on that hill right now. Okay. So as much as I grew up watching Barry Bonds, I went to numerous San Francisco Giants games just because I wanted to see a Barry Bonds home run in person. As much as I loved the man, I wore his number in high school only because 27 wasn't available. So I rocked 25. Like a majority of my teenage years was basically worshiping Barry Bonds. Okay.
And his big muscles.
And his big head. And I understand what Barry did. The whole reason in which he did what he did. Mm-hmm. And obviously we're now in a way that even like on video games, like what John and I play, like with MLB The Show, we're starting to kind of even allow some of the steroid era players to be playing. I mean, you have Sammy Sosa's in the game now, Mark McGwire, Rafael Palmeiro, all of those guys are now in the game. Barry Bonds is not because he's not a member of the MLBPA, John Dodd. And it is, so I grew up with him. What Aaron Judge did in 2022 should have gotten so much more love than what it did. And he, to me, is the home run king. He finished with 62 home runs. He did it legitimately. He's never been connected to steroids, any of that. What Cal Raleigh is doing is absolutely insane because he does not have a history of this. And he's playing in Seattle, which is predominantly a stadium that doesn't allow as many home runs as the rest of Major League Baseball, which is part of the reason why in the early 2000s, Ken Griffey Jr., who basically is the reason why they built this stadium to begin with, wanted out of Seattle because of how bad it was and how hard it was to hit home runs in that ballpark. So for Cal Raleigh to be doing what he's doing as a switch hitter, this is absolutely insane to see. And the biggest thing for the Mariners is not just that Cal Raleigh is playing well. It is also the fact that right now the Mariners are holding on to that last wild card spot. Still, again, haven't even gotten to the halfway point of the season. Like, we just haven't. Okay. We're very close to it because right now the Mariners have played 77 games. So we're only about 4 games away from the midday point or mid-game point. Mid-season. There we go. But there's going to be a part where he's going to slow down because if the Mariners stay in the race for the wild card and for the AL West, he's going to have players start to be the focal point of other pitchers, and they're going to start pitching around him. Mm-hmm. It is absolutely outstanding that not only is this guy doing it, he's doing it as a catcher.
Yeah.
So for people that don't realize, his body is way more tired than anything, and he's going to need more days off because of the way that he catches. Now, they may put him in at the DH spot, but man, what he's having this season so far is absolutely tremendous.
No doubt
so
about
much
it.
fun to watch it.
And we're not trying to undersell that Braves-Mets game last night. We'll have Barrett Sallee on later on in the show from the Braves Radio Network, but Ronald Acuna Jr. could possibly be in the same conversation if he was healthy at the beginning of the season. I mean, you cannot look at Ronald Acuna and say that he has not contributed to this recent success. The guy's got 9 home runs on the season. One of them came yesterday to get everything kind of started.
No, and
so much fun.
And the fact that he's also batting .396 right now. He has an OPS over 1,200.
It's the second highest in the league.
It's absolutely crazy to see how much of a difference maker he has been so far this season. And he's also being smarter on the base pass. Like, does he have a stolen base yet? Like, I'm trying to think about, because that was one thing that he did.
Last night he had a stolen base.
So I'm sitting and thinking to myself, I was like, he hasn't even tried to steal many bases because, again, his ability to be in the field and being able to hit is more important than his stolen bases. And so I love the fact that he is coming in and just absolutely mashing the way that he is. I don't care if his left leg looks like it's Scorpion or Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat 2, because it looks like he's wearing a catcher's shin guard. It does. I don't even care.
He's got the flames, though, on his arm sleeve. Really cool.
I want to know how many different sets he has, because that man has 10 different sets of gear, and he makes sure to color coordinate everything, top to bottom. Sliding glove, armband, his sleeve that he wears with his elbow guard, with his shin guard, with his knee guard, with his cleats, like everything.
With the Quick Crete logo on the sleeve.
Just all the way top to bottom, man, is color coordinated, and it's like different every single day.
No doubt.
It is legit.
Yeah, and then that I wanted to bring up that Quick Crete logo on the side because I feel like it's been a minute, Joe. All right, we haven't really had too much conversation about those badges that they have that are advertising, of course, the sponsors, the sponsor patch. I'll say that. Not all teams have them. I mean, the Washington Nationals are a team that goes without them, but a majority.
Nobody wants to sponsor.
I know.
Same with the A's.
Yeah.
Like nobody wants to sponsor them or the Rockies.
I did want to take a look back at them, and we'll do that later on in the show for some of the most egregious ones, because some of them have changed and they've gotten 10 times worse. And I cannot wait to get into that because some of them are absolutely abysmal. Some of them match perfectly with the style of the uniform.
Well, like the Cubs. The Cubs are sponsored by Motorola. Also, the Padres are sponsored by Motorola.
Twins.
Yeah, Twins. But see, the other thing about it, Twins not sponsored by anybody, I don't believe. It is the whole thing as well is why can't the other teams do like what the Padres are doing?
Match the logo with the color of the uniform?
Yes.
Yeah.
The most annoying thing about the Braves logo is because all you got to do is just turn it red. Like, it's not going to screw anything up. I understand that that's their logo and everything, but I'm just saying, like, just match it. Like, obviously, Motorola's colors, I believe, are blue and white, so that matches with what the Cubs are anyway. But just match with with the whole thing. Okay, just match it. I want to say the Reds are sponsored by Kroger.
Oh,
the Kroger logo isn't outlandish. It at least flows with the uniform, but it's because that they're not forcing them to have like the white around and all of that, like what Kroger's logo is. Just let them match it. Like
that Kroger one is terrible.
I went down
Joe.
I know, but it's at least what I'm saying is that it's not overbearing with what it is.
I don't know. They have the white, have the white box around the Kroger that makes it look just kind of off.
White Sox are sponsored by a funeral home, I believe. And so I'm curious, like I'm looking at all the sponsors and how they're doing everything with all this.
They are the funeral home, Joe.
Just them and the Rockies, man. God, Beck, I love you, bro. But come on, I just feel so bad. But I'm looking at it, and I went down this rabbit hole. Told you guys about my daughter always wanting to watch baseball or hockey whenever we get her down to sleep at night. The other night, I put on randomly the 97 World Series, which was Marlins and Indians. Yes, I'm saying Indians. Marlins and Indians.
This is what they were at the time.
Well, it's what they are, and that's what they should be. And so they're playing, and that was the year of the Jackie Robinson patch, because that was like the 75th anniversary patch for Jackie Robinson. The Marlins put the patch in their colors. It looked so good in their colors. Like it was green and black. Like it looked really, really good. It doesn't take away from what the patch is. Just make it fit.
Yeah.
It looks so much better. Only reason, like whenever I'm playing on MLB The Show, like if you play as they put the modern uniforms on, they also have the patches on. I'm like, I don't want that crap.
Yeah.
I don't want that stuff on there. It looks horrible. So I'm always going retro.
Yeah, we'll be getting into that conversation a little bit more down the road. On top of that, of course, the MLB, it's not the only thing that's going on, but it feels like the only thing going on just because we're waiting on football. We're obviously now waiting on basketball. On top of that, plenty of the other big sports that we love to talk about here on this show. So I do want to ask the question, and you guys are free to join in on the show whenever you want, whether you're listening here in Huntsville, the North Alabama area, or up in Winchester, Tennessee, or just South Tennessee. 256-576-97.7 to hop in. What are you guys watching that's not the MLB? What sport are you guys going to? Because, Joe, I want to know what you're going to get into, because you, of course, have the MLB and on top of that, Japanese baseball. But outside of the baseball, Joe, are you trying something new? Because this is a month for new things.
Well,
right?
I'm first off, I'm thrown off right now because Hanshin has like 4 days off. And so normally like Monday's always off. It's basically the same schedule as what minor league baseball is.
Yeah.
So Mondays are already always off. I'm okay with that. But now they're also off like Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And I'm like, son of a, come on. Like you're totally throwing off my mornings now.
What are you watching?
I'm going through like Facebook, TikTok videos while I'm getting ready. I know. I'm still a huge Matt Rife fan. So I'm like, he puts like 10 minutes up of his show. And so I'll just put that on and watch it.
The thing is, this is what sports does. It gets us away from the brain rot, Joe. All right. You need to find a new sport.
The good thing about comedy, though, especially if you're in the right show, is there are no rules. And if you have the right audience, you can make fun of anything. And so it does kind of take you away. And plus it's kind of like Deadpool. His delivery and his sense of humor is very similar to mine. So it activates my brain a lot better. So it's the reason why I do it. For me, I'm a huge wrestling fan. So like last night, my daughter actually wanted to watch wrestling while I was trying to get her to sleep. May have shed a tear. I don't know. I might have. But she wanted to watch Monday Night Raw. And I went, okay, baby girl, you can do whatever you want if you want to watch wrestling. I tried to turn it back over to the Braves game after they swapped pitchers, Iglesias to Lee. And she goes, no, wrestling. I'm like, okay. Like, I'm not going to argue with you on this. So, for me, this is also that point in time where I really start going back and like rewatching games.
Gotcha.
It may be games from last football season. It may be games from like, 20 and 30 years ago. It may be something like that where like, I'm just kind of going in that, or, and this is me. I also kind of back away for a minute. I find a book that I'm interested in. I found a book on Audible, a series there that I basically am, if I'm outside cutting the grass, if I'm cleaning the house, if I'm doing laundry, if I'm playing video games, I've got that going on in the background. Like it's one of those types things, so I'm involved in that just to kind of get me away, because look, you mentioned the All-Star break, how close it is. The moment SEC Media Day starts, we automatically flip to football season.
Football back.
Because it's high school football, it's college football, it's the NFL. All of that stuff starts kicking up because, just like a week or so after SEC Media Days wraps up, that's when training camp starts for the NFL. So then we get into, the Hall of Fame game and all this other stuff. So I kind of just like, disconnect a little bit. Outside of watching the baseball games and the Braves games and that sort of thing, I'll disconnect and get kind of caught up. I didn't realize how many shows that I used to watch driving back and forth from Huntsville to Nashville every single day. And the other night I'm going through and I'm kind of like adding to my watch list so that I have some stuff to watch.
Yeah.
I have so many shows that I still have not gotten caught up on. I mean, I've got Squid Games. I've got Daredevil. I just finished watching the new Twister movie. My son, we left his television on all night last night, and we went in this morning, and Top Gun Maverick was on. And I'm sitting there watching, and I was going, I probably need to like take some time and actually watch this. This looks like it's pretty good.
Okay.
Like I've heard so many good things. Like those things is what I would watch whenever I was driving back and forth.
Gotcha.
And I haven't watched them now because again, the drive's only like 15 minutes now.
So you got plenty of different outlets to go to outside of the sport.
And that's the other part is I'm not going to watch a random insert name of football league.
Yeah.
I'm just not.
Because we're not going to talk about it on the show.
No, absolutely not. I mean, again, trust me, John basically had to almost, I can't say that on the air, but it was basically forced me to talk UFL. And even then,
You didn't talk UFL. I was the UFL dude.
I tried to pay attention to it.
You don't have to worry.
I just zoned out on it.
It's fine. You can take a little more of a breather until football season hits.
So that's the other part is for me, it's baseball, but there really isn't anything else that I would even go, you know what? I'll give it 30 minutes. Like watch a new show. I'll give it 30 minutes. If I don't like it, I'm not going to try the rest of it.
Yeah, I'll give you a different question then, Joe.
Okay.
What sport would you want to try during this time to maybe see if you'd like it or not? You can think about that one, all right? Because I'm one to think, well, I like NASCAR, but I also like motorsports in general. What am I going to go into? This past weekend, it was the Nuremberg Ring, the 24 hours at the Nuremberg, and that was an interesting one. Let me tell you, when you think of Ford versus Ferrari, it's exactly what it is. Cars flipping and flying and cars still going for 24 hours straight. It is absolutely amazing, but I had no idea where to watch it, so I was just following along on Facebook.
By the way, speaking of 24 hours, the Alaskan 24-hour baseball game happened the other day.
Yeah.
It did. I've seen pictures everywhere of people that are like taking a picture of it because you know how like on Instagram, you can take a picture and then you can put the time up on it when the picture, and there's so many pictures that say like 12 a.m., 12:05 a.m., 1:35 a.m.
You'll have to show me. You'll have to show me some of those. Today on the Bulletin, you'll have a lot of baseball to watch. All 30 teams are going to be playing on June 24th. So definitely going to be a busy day for you. But you can listen to the Braves and the Mets today here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. And that's going to happen right after the drive, which is live from Woody Anderson Ford. On top of that, Tom Abraham's going to be live from Baumhauer. So a lot of live shows on location that you can look forward to as well. But, Joe, we got to hit a break. All right, we're already going over. I know you got something on your mind, you crazy fella.
Can I just tease this? I know you had something else.
I was going to tease something
totally
different.
Madden just dropped the ratings for the rookies.
Oh, that's actually pretty fun.
I've seen the list of the Titans rookies. Cam Ward is not the highest rated rookie in the game.
Oh,
for the Titans.
For the Titans.
Well, not the highest. He was the first overall draft pick. He's not the highest rated rookie on the team.
First off, that was already a jump in the first place. People already saw that he was supposed to be maybe a 20 or 21 pick. He wasn't supposed to be a number one pick, but teams needed a quarterback, and he was the best one available. We'll talk about that. We'll also talk about the ratings that the teams genuinely got, because some of them are surprised. You won't believe where the Cleveland Browns are at. And, we might get into some SEC football talk, get a little head start on media days. That is right around the corner. So don't go anywhere, because you're listening to The Blitz here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, ESPN Winchester, and WZZN TV.
This is The Blitz with Joe Hunk and John Abraham. 256-576-4977.
The Braves roll into the 2025 season with a singular focus. Bring home the division title and remind the league what Atlanta is all about.
Swung on, driven to left center field and deep. That baby's out of here. Austin Riley. 3-0 to Olsen, and he powers one. Deep right center field to the wall. It's going to fly. It's a home run. Back-to-back homers.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, if you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself.
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
I'm here with Thomas from Talent Heating and Air. With the temperatures going up and temperatures going down right now, now is a good time to get your heating and air system looked at. Thomas, when somebody calls, you guys answer.
That's right. The phones are staffed by us. They're manned 24/7. We're ready to come out and take care of you that day.
How do they give you guys a call?
You give us a call at 256-503-4490.
And you can find you guys on the World Wide Web at
talenthvac.com.
And now is a good time to do this because you guys are offering a special deal.
That's right. We're doing $49 tune-ups this spring. We're also doing free second opinions. We offer that year-round. Somebody comes out, they say you got a bad compressor, leaking refrigerant. Give us a call, see if we can save you some money.
Thomas from Talent Heating and Air. Thomas, one more time, that phone number.
256-503-4490.
AL certain number 21014.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at Your Home Window Company. When it comes to replacement windows, exterior doors, or new window screens, Your Home Window is the answer anywhere in Huntsville, Athens, Decatur, or Hartselle. Your Home Window windows and doors are made here in the USA and come with a lifetime warranty. When replacing those old windows or doors, Your Home Window has the solution for you. In-home estimates are always free and financing is available. Learn more at yourhomewindow.com and see clearly with Your Home Window. Visit yourhomewindow.com to make an appointment today.
Your Fox 54 weather, brought to you by Tellini's Italiano.
Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly sunny sky this afternoon. It's going to be incredibly hot across the Tennessee Valley. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 90s. It's going to feel like it's anywhere between 104 and 106. Temperatures only drop into the mid 70s as we head into the overnight. A mostly sunny sky once again for your Wednesday. Once again, temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 90s. Heat indices anywhere between 104 and 108.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Weekday mornings beginning at 7 a.m. Only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Did I just hear my boy Jordan Dressman say that it's a heat index of like 104 out?
Yeah, it's going well.
Yeah,
it's going extremely well.
Another beautiful day in the North Alabama area.
Yeah.
So,
Kid, hey. And what's bad about it is with all the storms, everything that's come through, we've had people that have had weather issues and roof issues, which is why it sucks for them because they haven't hit up Fleming Roofing and Restoration, and they're sitting here with holes in the roof, which then is going to cause more heat to get into the house, which causes your AC unit to have to run more, and then your heating and AC bills go up that way. So it's the reason why I need to give Fleming a call.
yeah, and you can also find them over on FlemingHSV.com. Fill out that free quote. Get Fleming over to your place now because they will show up and get that roof repaired so you could rest assured during this summertime breeze, which there's no breeze. It's just humidity and a lot of rain.
Absolutely.
So
and sometimes those two run hand in hand and cause you to just have to walk outside. It's sun shining, 104 degrees, and then next thing you know, you're looking outside, it's pouring down rain. Wife was on Sunday was heading out to go to the pool.
It's supposed to be a beautiful day.
No
rain in sight.
She got like 2 miles down the road. She called. She's like, "Hey, we're on our way back." I was like, "What do you mean you're on your way back? Like they canceled?" She's like, "No, it's pouring down rain."
There was like a chance for rain, and then it came down, and it came down for like 3 hours straight. I wasn't complaining because I was chilling inside with my Fleming roof above my head and my Talent heat going crazy. But I mean, it's just. Do the weather people even know what's going on? I guess they're similar to us. I mean, they make their predictions.
They make projections, which is whether the 20%, 10%, things like that happen. But other predictions are going to be about how good your football team is going to be. A lot of times we look at the way that, we look at your Phil Steele magazines. You look at that, just kind of breaking everything down. A lot of people also kind of go by ratings when it comes to video games.
Yeah. I mean,
those things are so accurate.
Let's admit, I mean, you can get a good gauge of how well a team's going to perform in the upcoming season based off their ratings. I look at this year's ratings, though, and I see the Cleveland Browns have the exact same rating as the Philadelphia Eagles at 87. I'm thinking to myself, so this isn't a player thing. This is a coaching thing. Don't tell me Kevin Stefanski's wrong. Come on now.
I think you're reading a little bit too much into this.
Maybe
the reason I bring that up is because just over the last few hours, the Madden 26 ratings have dropped for players and for teams. And the most unique one that I've already seen, just kind of sitting here going through everything, is obviously the number 1 overall pick went to the Tennessee Titans. They took Cam Ward. Majority of the time, somebody like that, you're going to have high 70s is what you're looking at.
Yeah.
Cam Ward isn't even the highest rated rookie on the Titans roster.
Okay.
Now you're going, wait. Well, then who is?
They picked up some studs during this offseason.
If
right?
this is the case, then I'm okay with this. The highest rated rookie on the Titans roster, according to Madden, is their 5th round draft pick, Jackson Slater from Sacramento State.
What?
At 75 overall. Now that's rookie, not obviously the whole team. He's 75 overall, according to Madden, starting this off when the beta tests and everything come out.
Did they get, who was it, Gunnar Helm from Texas?
They got Gunnar Helm from Texas, 4th round, 120th pick overall. Gunnar Helm
Absolute beast in college.
69 overall.
Okay, good number.
Yes.
He's going to get there.
Cam Ward, would you like to guess his rating? He's not top, which means he's not a 75.
I'd say he's a 72.
Cam Ward's rating on Madden going into the season right now is 71.
That's reasonable, I
To
guess.
put that into perspective, Mr. I can play everything, Travis Hunter, is like an 84.
Damn. Is he the highest out of all of the
I
NFL?
believe he is the highest. No, not of all the NFL, because
and
you get the
rookies.
but rookies, I believe he is the highest.
Okay. 84, reasonable guy that could play on offense and defense. I feel like his size would be something that would maybe take it down a little bit. You know, we don't know if he's going to be injury prone when it comes to the NFL just because he's so small, but at the same time, with the talent that he's got, the speed that he's got, people got to be able to catch him first.
Yeah, there are at the moment 699 overalls in the game. Lamar Jackson, Travis Kelce, Justin Jefferson, Derrick Henry. God, that hurts. Saquon Barkley and Trent Williams, the left tackle for the 49ers in that. So those are at least some of the Madden ratings right now, team ratings, all that came out. But the fact that the number 1 overall draft pick is only a 71.
Gotcha. Well, Joe, I want to give you a little quiz because we're going to be
Johnny Bam quiz game.
It's a fun Joe Hunk quiz game this time around. So we need a new sounder for that. But and I'll make it easy, realistic for you. I won't tell you, well, who's the 1978 backup quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys? Some people who are listening could probably guess that. I'm going to be real with you. That's not the question, though.
I don't know. I'm just totally guessing.
Who do you think's number 1 on the Madden ratings this year around? There's 2 teams that are tied for number 1.
That would be, let me see. Number 1, I'd probably go Baltimore Ravens.
Okay. They are not number 1. They are actually second.
299s?
They are second.
Good heavens. How bad is the rest of your team? You've got 299s.
But there are 2 teams with the exact same grade at number 1.
It's not going to be KC. It wouldn't be Philly because you just told me they have the same ratings as the Browns, which means, oh, heavens no.
It's not Philly, possibly KC.
Buffalo?
Is not Buffalo. KC, wow. I'll give you that. KC, because you said it, is a 92.
Okay, I was about to, okay, so what's the highest rating?
A 92.
So wait, Kansas City is the highest rated team?
They're tied with another team, though.
Okay. So it wouldn't be the Eagles.
And it's an NFC team.
It wouldn't be the 49ers. Is it the 49ers?
It's the 49ers.
Williams is going to be there. Obviously, Brock Purdy's going to have a really good rating
McCaffrey.
on that. You're also going to have George Kittle, which I believe is probably a 98 overall.
Pretty stellar defense. I can see it. I can see it.
So 49ers. All right. So I can see that.
Ravens are sitting at number 391. Dolphins sitting at 89.
Dolphins just need to stay healthy.
And their defense.
Just stay healthy.
Their defense needs to get a little bit more stout.
Dude, this team is like Texas Tech back with Mike Leach, man. Like, they should be able to put up 50 points. And I mean, they still may win 50-48, or they may lose 52-50, but they should be putting up tons of points every year.
So there are 5 teams that are sub 80s. Do you want to take any guesses?
I know where the Titans are because the Titans are sitting at 80.
They're right at 80 with the Seahawks and the Patriots.
All right, so Carolina Panthers.
Panthers are one of them.
All right, so Panthers are there. It wouldn't be the Saints, would it?
The Saints are not.
Okay,
at the bottom.
Saints are not at the bottom. So then let's go with Falcons.
Falcons are not at the bottom either. The Falcons are sitting right now at an 84.
Oh, well.
Pretty impressive.
Well, I mean, when your backup quarterback is, Kirk Cousins.
I honestly don't understand some of these ratings. I really don't, Joe.
No, because I'm going, all right, Giants.
Giants are the worst team in the game at a 75.
Okay, Jets.
The Jets are not one of the worst teams in the game. The Jets are actually 86.
86?
I don't know, man.
I guess.
I don't guess like that.
No, I'm trying to. That doesn't make sense.
They got decent wide receivers. That's the best I could say for that. They got a good running back room.
All right, hold on. I'm not pulling up the ratings, but I'm at least just pulling up the chart of NFL teams so I can just kind of glance at it and see. Let's go with.
You got 2 teams right now.
I've got two teams correct right now.
Panthers and the Giants.
Seattle Seahawks.
The Seahawks are not.
The Raiders.
The Raiders are not.
Who are the sucky teams? Because I'm like, what, Indianapolis Colts? Because they're not.
2 of them had rookie quarterbacks last year.
Chicago Bears?
Nope.
Denver Broncos.
Broncos are a 79.
Okay, well, I think that's even more asinine. That was a playoff team.
Oh, just wait. I said there's one other rookie quarterback that is going into his second year. Down below an 80, his team is. Sounded like
it cannot be Washington Commanders.
The Washington Commanders are below the Panthers at a 78.
Okay, yeah, this is no.
And the Cardinals are a 76. So those are your 5 teams that are sub 80s. 2 of those teams were absolutely amazing last year.
I'm about to say the Commanders and the Broncos both made the playoffs.
What are we doing, man?
And the Commanders, I mean, outside of the Eagles, they were one of the more dominating teams in the NFC. The Lions, it was the Lions, the Commanders, and the Eagles that you were just going, dude, these teams are legit.
The Bills are an 85. They're behind the Steelers at an 86. The Jets are above the Bills. I mean, the Eagles are tied with the Browns and the Bengals.
Okay, this is asinine.
So, yeah, it's definitely a little off the wall. I'd like to know your guys' biggest shock from these Madden ratings for Madden 26, which game is looking really good, but 256-576-97.7. What you think of these ratings as well as what you think of the game. Are you going to be buying it, shelling out $70, or maybe getting the collector's bundle that'll also come with the new college football game? I know Joe Hunk will be.
Oh yeah, I'm actually debating because the game comes out around July 10th for the college football game, which is going to be before SEC Media Day. So I'm going, all right, so do I get it with this check or do I get it with the other one? Because I'm going to play both.
Yeah.
So might as well just go ahead and do the bundle package on that and get it. So just trying to figure out when I'm actually going to throw the money down for it. But it is both games are going to be absolutely tremendous to play. And I want to say that the college football game is going to be amazing atmosphere-wise. But I really think the Madden game is going to be better as far as the gameplay is concerned.
It's looking really good. The graphics they're almost 1-to-1 with the real life.
It's honestly, I think the Madden group of EA Sports probably got one of those talking tos that said, okay, guys, everybody played college football last year. I know they bought these bundle packages, but as far as the individual purchases, those were down. Mutt was down. A lot of people playing just college football. We need to do something now to stand out from the college football game.
The picture with Jaden Daniels alone is selling a lot of people. Comparing it from this year to last year's, it's night and day. Completely different. It takes away that awkward size that everybody in Madden has, and it finally gives everybody a little bit more of a unique look. Jaden Daniels, He is not a stout quarterback that you'd throw onto any team like a Jalen Hurts. This guy he's smaller. He's skinny. You throw him on a team like the Commanders, he's going to look smaller in those uniforms. Same thing with Bryce Young. He doesn't have a wide frame. He has a smaller body. Now, a guy like Bo Nix, that's more of a Madden build. I mean, he's got that wide body, even with his little rib protectors. He's
little
wider.
rib protectors. Yeah, with his little rib protectors and stuff, those things.
I want to stay safe. I do want to hop into a break, Joe, because I do want to get into this MLB patch, thing that's going on. Okay. I'm okay. No, Steve was on the work thing, so I didn't want to. We do got to talk about a little bit of SEC football. We're not going to do that right now. We'll hold off on the conversation because I do want to talk about some defenses because we focus a lot on the offenses, but something to get your mind kind of working. What are some defenses, Joe, as well as the listener, that you guys think need to step up going into this upcoming season for their team to find success? There's a lot of them. Don't think about the teams that are bad on offense too, because we're looking at just the defense. Who needs to show up for them to
I hate
succeed?
myself because I think I know what I'm going to say.
But when we come back, hopping into the MLB, getting closer to that conversation, of course, later on in the show, we're going to be talking with Barrett Salee from the Braves Radio Network, talk about the Braves' recent success, what they could do to continue, as well as maybe some bullpen information as well. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to The Blitz here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, ESPN Winchester, and WZZN TV.
Yo, Hunk. John Abraham, 256-576-4977. This is The Blitz on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
The NASCAR Cup Series this week at the Echo Park Speedway in Atlanta for the Quaker State 400, part of the NASCAR In-Season Challenge. Next 5 races will feature drivers going head-to-head in a single elimination-style tournament, the winner getting $1 million. Denny Hamlin, William Byron, both 5-1. Kyle Larson plus 550. Tyler Reddick and Christopher Bell, each 7-1. Braves over the Mets 3-2 yesterday at Citi Field. Today, it's Spencer Strider at $1.50 favorite against Clay Holmes of the Mets plus 123. The total 9 flat at Citi Field in New York. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Tom Abraham back from my friend Ross Roberts at Valley Equipment Rental. It's springtime, so let's get that garden tilled with a tiller from Valley Equipment. And while you're at it, snag a power washer for the house and the driveway. And if you're putting in a sprinkler system, they have the small trencher that you need. And you can even rent a Skag zero-turn mower and much more to get your property in shape. Valley Equipment, not just for the contractor, but the homeowner as well. 2 locations on the North and South Parkway. Valley Equipment Rental. Learn more at valleyequipmentrents.com.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Your customers deserve the best, and so do you. You invest in your customers with your heart, soul, and skill. Well, it's time to invest in yourself with the next generation Cat 255 compact track loader from Thompson Tractor. After all, those who give their best deserve the best, and this machine has it all. With features that include a more powerful engine, tri-axle truck loading capabilities, a spacious cab, and a smooth ride for all-day comfort. Best of all, now Thompson Tractor is making that investment even better with our Workhorse Special. Get 0% financing for 36 months on the purchase of a new Cat 255 compact track loader that comes with a 3-year warranty. You also get a 74-inch bucket and 1,000-hour filter kit. But hurry, this offer is only good through June 30th. Visit ThompsonTractor.com for details. Thompson Tractor, we're here for you.
Where's the best place for sports? What about the best place for wings? If you answered Jefferson's for both, you're right. Jefferson's is also a great place for value. Every Monday, kids eat free with the purchase of an adult meal, and teachers bring your teacher ID, and you eat free every first Tuesday of the month up to $15. And Owens Crossroads, Jefferson's will be opening a new location at 326 Sutton Road very soon. Jefferson's, best place for sports, best place for wings. Hampton Cove, and soon in Owens Crossroads.
Are you tired of power outages disrupting your life? It's time for a Generac standby generator from Current Electrical. Storms may rage outside, but inside your family's powered up. So why choose Current Electrical for your generator needs? 1, we offer a wide range of models to suit every budgeted energy requirement. 2, our project managers handle every step of the process: power, gas, permitting, and inspections. 3, our certified technicians install your generator with precision, ensuring peace of mind. Don't wait for the next blackout. Call 256-880-1880 or visit us online at jetsuperstore.com.
Listen to the Rocket City Trash Pandas all season long.
Next pitch is drilled. Deep to left field. Back goes Edsel. Like a tomato, ketchup squished it.
Trash Panda Baseball is only on Talk Radio WZZN.
Hello and welcome back into the Blitz. I feel like Beastie Boys should bring us back every time, Joe. Be real with you.
I mean, I can make that happen. And I can,
Could.
Yeah.
You remember that episode of Futurama where the Beastie Boys are still doing music in like the 3000s?
Oh, yeah,
They're
the
just in
heads.
their little jars.
Yeah, their heads. It's just the heads of them that are doing it up there.
I wish that was the case.
Yeah.
Regardless, we've been talking a little bit of these uniform patches. We talked about the Madden ratings. If you guys missed out on that conversation, you can head over to WZZN TV and go back and listen or watch that. But I do want to continue the patch conversation just because, I feel like a good patch is one that you don't see. It does a really good job of just blending into the uniform. And that's one thing I've learned from the New York Yankees and maybe even the New York Mets. Both of these kind of just blend into the uniforms because they're matching the style and the colors of the actual brand themselves. Okay, the same could be said, I don't know, for a team like the Dodgers with the G on their shoulder. Obviously, it's a little bit bigger. It's also in the shape of a diamond, so it's just, it kind of just sticks out at you. But then there's those bad patches that even though they try and, take the colors from the franchises, they still look absolutely horrendous. The Boston Red Sox is one that I want to throw out there. Mass Mutual.
It's kind of, it is kind of obnoxious this year.
It's just like,
it's kind of obnoxious.
You could just have Mass Mutual. You don't have to have those 5 dots above the Mass Mutual. It just takes up the entire sleeve, and I don't think it looks good. It just doesn't look good at all.
I think it's the size of a lot of these.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I think that's what a lot of this that you're about to go through. I think a lot of this has to do with the size. They're a little too I won't say overwhelming, but they're a little bit too big. And again, you're talking about, John, you mentioned the Japanese baseball. I mean, those teams over in Japan are literally, their sponsor is the first name of their team.
Exactly.
Hanshin is not a city.
It ain't no town.
It's a railroad company. Like that's what they are.
It's the perfect way to blend it in, though.
SoftBank, who they played the SoftBank Hawks in a 3-game series the other night. SoftBank is not a city.
Sounds like one.
It sounds exactly what it is. SoftBank. It is a bank. It is the Tokyo Giants, yet they are named the Yomiuri Giants. Like those are they put the sponsor at the very beginning of this. I want to say Cebu Lions. I was telling you about a jersey that of a baseball player is on MLB Network. Yeah, in the background was the Cebu Lions. Cebu is not the city that they are in. Like that's how they do it over there. So as I'm saying, obnoxious. Yes, I am a huge fan of a sport where literally the sponsor is the entire identity of the team. I get that.
And earlier on, we were talking about the Padres and the Cubs and the Motorola on the side. That's one that is gigantic.
Oh, it is massive.
It does a really good job of just blending in because there's not much to that actual logo. It's a little bit more annoying, I think, on the Cubs, just because you got two circles with a letter inside.
Yeah,
you've
got one with the Cubs on one arm, and then the other one's the Motorola patch. Yes.
I mean, try and introduce that team to your kids. They're going to be a little bit confused on why that's there in the first place. But some of the bad ones this year have come from teams that I wouldn't say the Cardinals. I think the stifle blends in perfectly. It's small. It's just text. It's fine. The Brewers even have one that kind of blends in, as well as the Meyer on the Detroit Tigers, which I've never even been in. A Meyer, it's a grocery store.
I was about to say, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, I hear they got a lot of Pokemon cards. I wouldn't know anything about that, though. But then you got the San Francisco Giants that try and blend in, but it's got the Chevy logo on it. This isn't a car. This is a baseball uniform. It is a little bit big. It's a little bit obnoxious. The Los Angeles Angels with the FBM. Okay, they fit an entire sentence.
The Angels do seem like a BM.
To their patch. I could only imagine what that stands for.
If you don't know, just trust me on that.
I'm already on the dump button.
No, I didn't say it. It's I can tell you what it says. The BM is that's the medical term of it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's the medical term.
The Cincinnati Reds with the Kroger. You brought it up earlier.
I did, man.
I hate it. I don't like it.
And the ones that I saw, they didn't look that obnoxious. But then I look at the other ones that are all on the internet. I'm going, crap, they do have the huge white box on.
Exactly.
Dang
that big white box, it throws off
Dang
everything.
it.
It takes up a majority of the sponsor spot.
They need to be, all of these patches need to be like a third of what the size that they actually are.
I agree, but then we couldn't see them.
Yes, you can. You can absolutely see them.
Just put them on the baseball cap. No, I don't know if
No,
that'd be
again, they do that in Japan.
Yeah.
They have that right there on the side of their hats.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe on the batting helmet. I just having it on the uniform is just ridiculous. The Avnet for the Arizona Diamondbacks, at least it's an A. Kind of matches the logo. It's still kind of too big. I don't like it. It sticks out, and you can definitely see it every time they pitch. The Texas Rangers, good job by them to match the logo, energy transfer, with the colors of the team. This patch is bigger than the Texas Rangers logo in general.
It is.
It's too big. Don't like it. The Marathon logo matches. I don't mind it that much. It's huge, but it actually goes well with the rest of what the
they can put that over the Guardians logo if they want.
And also the Guardians, I feel like through most of their inception, they've had the Marathon patch, so it doesn't bother me too much. Of course, the Star Insurance and the other company that the Mets got. But the worst one that I've seen that does not even try, it's not the Braves. The Braves at least have a cute, quick-crete little bag.
You so better be thinking of the one I'm thinking.
I'm thinking the Mariners.
1,000%.
You put the Nintendo Switch 2 logo on a blue uniform.
A teal uniform,
and
a white uniform.
Huge.
It is. It takes up the entire shoulder. It takes up the entire sleeve.
What are we doing?
Like, it seriously is just a big, huge red square. And again, I'm watching way more Mariners baseball because of Cal Raleigh. It's always the team that I finish the night with. Mariners are on the road, so I didn't get to watch them last night. So I finished watching the Angels game last night.
Mm-hmm.
But and it was Angels Red Sox. I'm like, come on.
On the road, at least it's a little bit smaller.
That's so horrible.
No, it's gross.
Phone lines are open now. 256-576-4977. This is the Blitz on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Carrabba's Italian Grill is the best place to enjoy authentic Italian cuisine, passed down from our founders' family recipes. Featuring a wood-burning grill, you can enjoy Carrabba's signature dishes, including chicken brine, wood-fired grilled steak and chops, and classic Italian pasta dishes. Have a special event? Elevate your catering with Carrabba's Catering, the perfect way to enjoy large party portions of your favorite hand-prepared dishes for any event. Carrabba's Italian Grill at Parkway Place, Huntsville.
You don't have to go somewhere else just so you can go somewhere new. Plan your next vacation with Huntsville International Airport and Breeze Airways. Enjoy friendly, convenient, nonstop travel to some of the most exciting destinations in the U.S., including the home of iconic casinos, world-class shows, dining, and entertainment. Las Vegas. With flights starting as low as just $79, Breeze has got you covered with easy, breezy, nonstop flights to Las Vegas. Book nonstop to Las Vegas now at flybreeze.com.
I'm here with Thomas from Talent Heating and Air. With the temperatures going up and temperatures going down right now, now is a good time to get your heating and air system looked at. Thomas, when somebody calls, you guys answer.
That's right. The phones are staffed by us. They're manned 24/7. We're ready to come out and take care of you that day.
How do they give you guys a call?
You give us a call at 256-503-4490.
And you can find you guys on the World Wide Web at
talenthvac.com.
And now is a good time to do this because you guys are offering a special deal.
That's right. We're doing $49 tune-ups this spring. We're also doing free second opinions. We offer that year-round. Somebody comes out, they say you got a back compressor, a leaking refrigerant. Give us a call, see if we can save you some money.
Thomas from Talent Heating and Air. Thomas, one more time, that phone number.
256-503-4490.
AL certain number 21014.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of Jacob Title. Stan, I've heard that every real estate closing at Jacob Title is a very big deal. Why is that?
Wes, I'm reminded of a very impactful statement that I heard from Coach Gene Stallings years ago when he talked about big games and little games. He said he didn't like that comparison. He says, because try losing one of those little games. And if you ever do, it ends up being the biggest game all year long. Well, it's the same thing with real estate closings. Every game, every closing is a very big deal at Jacob Title. Because when it's your closing and your contract on the line, it's a very big deal. And we understand that at Jacob Title.
So it sounds like whether your client is a first-time residential buyer or a multi-million-dollar investor, they can expect your A game.
That's exactly right. As a matter of fact, when you bring your real estate closing to us at Jacob Title, we understand it's all about trust and confidence. And when Stan McDonald tells you that a chicken dips snuff, you can look under his wing for the box.
And like Beebs likes to say, there's no doubt about it.
This is Brent Musburger's VSIN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
The NASCAR Cup Series this week at the Echo Park Speedway in Atlanta for the Quaker State 400, part of the NASCAR In-Season Challenge. Next 5 races will feature drivers going head-to-head in a single elimination-style tournament, the winner getting $1 million. Denny Hamlin, William Byron, both 5-1. Kyle Larson plus 550. Tyler Reddick and Christopher Bell, each 7-1. Braves over the Mets 3-2 yesterday at Citi Field. Today, it's Spencer Strider at $1.50 favorite against Clay Holmes of the Mets plus 123. The total 9 flat at Citi Field in New York. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Your Fox 54 weather brought to you by Tellini's Italiano.
And Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman maintaining the warmth and the humidity as we head into the overnight. Temperatures dropping into the mid-70s. A mostly sunny sky for your Wednesday. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 90s. Heat indices between 104 and 108. A partly sunny sky for your Thursday. Temperatures climbing into the mid-90s.
Your Fox 54 weather only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Log on today, 977ESPN.com. Joe Hunk, John Abraham, 256-576-4977. Welcome to the Blitz.
Second hour, final hour, best hour on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Joe Hunk, John Abraham.
That's me.
And the Blitz on this Tuesday morning. Coming up at noon, Tom Abraham's going to be over at Baumhauer's. Then tonight, the drive is going to be at Woody Anderson Ford. So make sure that you come and say hello to everybody that's going to be out as we go throughout this Tuesday.
Little combo action. You can get some good food over at Baumhauer's right at lunch. And then later on, well, you can get an awesome car. Maybe like a Mustang or like Joe's favorite, the Ford F-150 Lightning.
Seriously, I'm telling you, if I could, I would so get that thing right now. That is like my dream vehicle.
You ever
Mainly
feel
every vehicle's a dream vehicle for me right now.
You ever feel the power of Zeus in between your legs? Well, then you're driving a Ford F-150 Lightning.
Is that actually like part of a phrase? Because that's a good one.
I just came up with it.
It's probably
Sign
not
me.
something that you could probably go with a national campaign about, but man,
North Alabama would love it, man.
that puts a visual. That puts a visual in your head. Absolutely. You can watch it on WCCN TV as we go along as well. And so if you can't get in, want to hop in on that chat, you can get your comments in there. Obviously, we read those every single time you put one in as we continue. And of course, the phone lines are always open to you at 256-576-977. Don't ever forget, always brought to you by Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
The guys you need to talk to about all of your roofing needs. If you're having any roofing problems, make sure you look them up online at FlemingHSV.com to fill out your free quote today. And remember that Fleming always shows up. Joe, we were talking a little bit about the patches. Also, if you hop in on the chat and you tell us something, we will most likely read it. We are not going to read all of them because there's some questionable ones over there. But that's the freedom you get out of our YouTube.
I mean, we can't read
box.
verbatim. I mean, there'll be summarization that takes place on that.
A lot of that. But when you hop in on the phone lines, well, you're able to, not have to summarize anything. And that's exactly what Smokey Mike's going to do here in a second as he's on with us. Smokey, how you doing today, man?
Well, I had to get up at 3 a.m, so that was fun.
Oh.
So, yeah.
I was
that
awake
type of day
then.
for me.
Did you do that on purpose, or did you just wake up and then you had to kind of just stay up because you couldn't go back to sleep?
No, I had to get up better.
Okay. All right.
But
I was up there.
Joe with the kids, I mean, he understands how that goes sometimes.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I was awake. I remember specifically looking and going, "Hey, it's 2:59 and I'm awake." Yeah. Yeah. I remember, yeah.
Those are the terrible ones, especially when it's like, oh yeah, it's midnight. Oh, I gotta be up in 3 hours. Oh, that's fantastic.
Colic is no joke. I mean, that is no joke. Colic colic basically is baby that has acid reflux. And they haven't developed the flap that in their throat that helps keep that down.
Well,
and so you have to wait till the flap is developed to make sure that stops.
Well, why do I have acid reflux then, Joe?
Because your flap hasn't developed. I don't really know about it when it comes to adults, but so that's what colic is. So
has my flap deteriorated?
Yeah, like it was. Yeah. So we're waiting. It's supposed to take like 8 to 12 weeks for it to start to be developed enough where it stops.
Gotcha.
But in between that time, literally baby's crying like 24/7 because obviously she's dealing with acid reflux. We hate that. So yeah, I'm with you. That's the reason why we're up at all hours of the night.
Anyway, Captain Cool bringing up those patches was kind of an interesting thing because I read up a couple days ago about how those patches were going to start becoming like 1 in 10 cards or auto cards or tops when it comes when time comes around and all that stuff. And it just made me think because I talked with Joe a couple weeks ago about like the rise of popularity of trading cards again and the way that it's been going around. And like, case in point, the show was the perfect like intro for a lot of newer generation because they used all the tops and the tops now and everything like that. And now you're seeing these cards start rolling out again. And I mean, there's a particular set that I'm seeing that is completely sold out.
Yeah.
Like Walmart, Target, nowhere. You can't buy it nowhere.
Yeah.
Except for eBay. Like eBay, and they put it at like double the price.
Yeah, that's thanks to the scalpers, and that's going on with a lot of different cards as well. Anything that has some hype around it, people are going to go and find it. As soon as they find it, as soon as they get it released, they're going to snatch up all of it and then resell it for way more than MSRP. So I could see that definitely coming.
One thing I will say, though, is at least Tops and Upper Deck and others are actually not overproducing like they used to back in the day. Because Joe and I can tell you, Captain Cool, we all wanted a Ken Griffey Jr. rookie. That was the ultimate dream card for a lot of us kids, and they overproduced it to the point now like it's not even worth anything.
No.
Really, too much right now.
No. Well, there's a few that are out there. Like Michael Jordan has a few cards that are up there, and that was back whenever there were a few more card manufacturers that were coming out with the ones. I forget who was the one that made the one that's like super expensive right now. But I know that some companies, I mean, I have a whole book full of football cards that are worth absolutely nothing because they're just basic. I mean, you weren't able to get any of those really cool patch cards in just the random booster packs that you got at Walmart.
No, and I mean now they're actually putting more diversity in there. And I will say, I bought the 2024 Topps NFL Chrome pack from Target the other day. I pulled out a number Vrabel from that one, and so it was like, okay, yeah, not bad. I got a couple refractors, some rookie cards, got AP refractor, got a pretty nice JC Latham rookie card that I need to show Joe on that one. It's got a little refractor, but it's not exactly a refractor.
Oh, sweet.
So, yeah, but I mean, it's just it baffles me how this is just blown back up again, because it's one of those that it's like, if you know how to side hustle, you can make money off of it, but it's also the enjoyment of getting the cards and ripping and gripping, you know?
Yeah, no, and that's where I come from, and a lot of people need to realize that if they want to, sell cards, they're going to realize that they're going to spend a lot more on cards just to get maybe one or two cards that could sell for a little bit and maybe get you back up to, where we're at with the spending. But now you brought up the patches to, be implemented within cards now. I'm not surprised by that. I mean, have you seen some of these cards that have like the cleat inside of them and they're like 2 inches thick? I mean, they're putting anything they can into these cards.
Well, I ended up pulling out for like $4 2 weeks ago. The same year, a Cooper Kupp and Puka rookie card, with the jersey inserted in there. So, and it was just like, you know what? It was the same year. That was a historic season for the Rams. I mean, offense-wise, not defense, because that was the year after the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, that's an easy twofer that you could be like, all right, I've waited about 4 or 5 years down the line, and I could sell that even more.
Yeah, exactly. No, the wait is the better thing to do, because then whenever you kind of forget about the money you put into the cards, all you can get a little bit out. So that's the whole reason for it. But if I got a card, this would be the only time I'd want to see that Nintendo Switch 2 logo is if I got a card with that patch inside of it. But it also have to be a gigantic card.
And just think about it with the patches too. And by the way, I've been loading up, or I've been getting some good Jaden Daniels rookie cards, and those are going to be ones that I'm keeping big time. I'm saving those for later on in life.
Dang.
But imagine, say, the company that I work for, I believe both of you know who it is, would happen to sponsor, say, like the Rays, and just imagine that big old green P on one of them arms. How annoying would that be?
Did they? I thought Publix already had one that they were going for. They did it last year, the year before that. I'm almost
no.
100%.
That's the Toronto Blue Jays have. It's green, but it's not Publix.
It's the TD, Ameritrade or whatever. I don't know exactly what it is.
No, Publix would only be either Tampa Bay or Miami. They wouldn't go anywhere else. On that one.
And trust me, Miami's ADT because it's Miami and you need ADT. Spot the lie. I mean,
oh,
seriously,
Lord. On that note, I'm getting up off here. You guys be good, all right?
All right.
Appreciate you, brother. Good stuff from him hopping in, discussing a little bit more of the patches and also the growth within the card community, as it is. We've had plenty of conversations about it. It is definitely on the rise. But Joe, well, this is your hour. I don't know what you're doing.
No, you were talking about the defenses, and I was very curious because we've got Barrett Sallee coming up here in a few minutes to talk a little bit about the Braves, because, hey, look, they beat the Mets again. Isn't this fun?
They did.
It's fun. Still, I mean, again, they're still 10.5 games back of first place, and they're still like 6 games back of the wild card.
But the record's nice. The record's getting better.
The fact that you just keep beating the Mets is so incredibly fun. So we're going to talk to him about that. But you said it last hour about defenses and wanting to ask a question about SEC defenses.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, like, where and why would we be asking about defenses? Like, how is this playing out? So I kind of was curious about how you were doing that.
Well, since we are getting closer to the football season, we already talked a little bit about the quarterbacks, some of the running back rooms within the NFL and college football. One thing that I neglect a little bit too much, just because I'm an offensive guy at heart, is the defensive side of the ball. And there have been some teams in the past that have been really good on offense and have been able to find success early on in the season because of that offense, but just seem to kind of falter out throughout the rest of the season when they face off against better opponents on that side of the ball. And their defenses don't play up to snuff. So I wanted to look at some of these teams and, of course, some of the teams that have added on to their defensive coordinator room, because some of them are doing co-defensive coordinators. I wanted to look at some of those teams that could benefit more than others with an upgraded defense this year.
So the idea behind what you're asking is, obviously we're just a couple of weeks away from SEC Media Days, and I think the idea is, when you're looking at all these teams, because we know that offense sells tickets, but defense, the whole defense wins championships, is you can have a team have a fantastic defense, but if their offense is trash, then it really doesn't even matter. But what John is, I think, asking, and he can correct me if I'm wrong, is more about the defenses that need to be better, that could take a team that is good/okay because of their offense and take them to great/elite. Is that kind of the thought process behind that?
Yeah, I would say that. Look at LSU 2 years ago. Jaden Daniels on this team. Their offense was absolutely lights out. What was the one problem with this squad, though? Well,
defense.
Just the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, it was tough to stop really anything that SEC opponents would put at it. They still need an upgrade on defense. Some would say this is one of the best teams in the country. Some, I would say, maybe top 25 to start out the year. But if they don't have a defense that's up to snuff with the rest of the SEC, the upper echelon of the SEC, like the Texas, like the Georgias, like the Ole Miss, this team is not going to live up to everybody's expectations. Same with the Florida that has a brand new shiny quarterback. But what do they have at the defensive side of the ball? Oh, it was a little bit back and forth last year. Now, this season, they did add on to their defensive coordinator room, all right? This is interesting. I don't know if a lot of people were following this. Remember, early on in the summer, we got interesting news that Jack State was bringing in former Crimson Tide defensive player Vinny Sinceri. Well, he's not at Jack State anymore. He's co-defensive coordinator and safeties coach for the Gators.
Oh, I did last one.
And he's helping out with Ron Roberts, who is, of course, standing in as the main at DC for them. But, is that going to be enough of a change to maybe bring in some more kids that are fans of Sinceri and his time at Alabama? Because that was the start of the Nick Saban era. I mean, this is a guy that was a part of that classic squad. So I could see a little bit of recruiting help. And on top of that, maybe he knows a thing or two that would up the defensive game for the Gators.
Okay, so let's think about this, and we'll talk to Barrett Salee, and let's think about this. And if we have to revisit it tomorrow, then we're going to revisit it tomorrow, because there are two answers in my head right now that I think one of them you could kind of may roll your eyes at, but the second one to me could be a massive need that could totally change like the landscape of the SEC if they've got the defensive play. So let's think about that. Now, when we come back, Barrett Salee is going to be joining us from the Braves Radio Network, pre and post game. You hear him every single night here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, as the Braves in New York just took out the Mets once again, 4 wins in a row against New York. We'll come back, talk a little Braves baseball here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, WZZN TV, and the Blitz.
Joe Hunk, John Abraham. You can watch the Blitz live now on X at 97.7 ESPN.
Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com. Eagle Masonry and Installation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money. SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
This is Steve Moulton for Tellini's Italiano. Tellini's Italiano is located right in front of the Walmart, right off of University, behind the McDonald's. More or less catty corner from Topgolf. It's one of my favorite places to go to, and if you go there, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, you need to try the baked spaghetti, add a meatball. Also try the baked ziti with meat sauce, add sausage. You'll thank me. Save room for some pizzas and paninis as well. And don't forget about dessert as well. The best cheesecake I have had here in North Alabama is at Tellini's Italiano. Find out for yourself today. That's Tellini's Italiano, right off of University Drive in front of the Walmart. Located online at Tellinis.com. That's TELLINIS.com. Let's get some Tellini's tonight.
I'm here with our good friend, John Kendall. He's got 23 years of retail mortgage experience in the Tennessee Valley, and he's powered up with the #1 retail mortgage lender in the nation.
That's right, Scott. We have joined with Cross Country Mortgage, and that is true. We're the #1 retail mortgage lender in America. And with that powerhouse team and our experience here locally, we're ready to go.
They've got 120 mortgage, refinance, and home equity solutions to fit every need. If you call on Cross Country Mortgage, it is for the win.
That's right. You can reach me, Scott, at 256-562-3780, or you can go to crosscountrymortgage.com and then search my name.
It's Cross Country Mortgage and John Kendall, a powerhouse team. One more time, John.
That's crosscountrymortgage.com, 256-562-3780. If we can't close your loan, it simply cannot be closed.
Equal Housing Opportunity Company in MLS, number 3029.
Tom Abraham Show. Weekdays beginning at noon on 97.7 ESPN The Zone and WZZN TV.
Don't forget, you can follow 97.7 The Zone on X at 977 ESPN. Follow myself at Joe Hunk and John Abraham at John Abraham ESPN. We'll get back to your phone calls coming up here in just a few minutes as we continue getting ready for SEC Media Days that are going to be in Atlanta. They also just happen to be the exact same time that we have the Major League Baseball All-Star Game and all those festivities happening over at Truist Park. Home Run Derby is going to be on Monday night. You're going to have the All-Star Game happening on Tuesday, the Futures Game happening before that. All of that's going to be happening while we're all in Atlanta, which is going to be extremely fun.
Yeah, very hectic. Yeah.
Very hectic, but also I think Braves fans are just getting a little bit more excited, mainly because you've won a few games, especially against the Mets. It's kind of fun right now. You have that feeling of owning the Mets, at least through the first 4 games of the season. And the man that does pregame, postgame for the Braves Radio Network is one Barrett Salee, as he joins us from Atlanta right now. Barrett, is postgame shows a little bit more fun now that the Braves are actually winning a little bit more?
Yes, they are a little bit more fun, especially after beating the Mets.
Yes.
I joked yesterday leaving because, we've done this 4 times over the last week. It's just, that GIF that's like sensible chuckle GIF? That's kind of where I am. Like, I'm leaving the studio going, that's fun. And I'm not like chuckling. We don't completely own the house yet, but we signed the mortgage. We're moving in, and man, it's been a lot of fun. Yes, post games have been really, really good, except when you lose to the Marlins and the Rockies. But there are a lot of folks that just focus on the negative, and I try to focus on the positive. Some of the callers just want to hate everything, but try to focus on the positive. And there's been a lot of that over the last 14 days or so.
Well, there is. It's been way more fun. You sit and you watch, and yes, the whole Mets thing is kind of like when the Braves got up. I went, oh, they're winning, and then when it was 3-2 and we're in the 8th inning, I'm going, all right, don't screw this up. Like, this has been really fun so far. Don't screw it up. And then you have Dylan Lee.
Because I was like, oh man, this is going to be fun when we rip their hearts out of you.
No. You know why? Because Iglesias comes in, and I'm sitting and I'm thinking, crap, Iglesias is in. I'm going, all right, he's set up, man. They put him in the setup role. He's in the 8th right now. They're trying to keep him there just because, again, they're trying to figure out who the closer is going to be. And now he then gets into yet another situation where the tying run is right there on third base, and you have to pull him and bring Dylan Lee in just an out early. And I'm thinking to myself, dude, why can't we have nice things with this? Like, the back end of the bullpen is killing me, bro. Like, it really is. And I know Dylan Lee's got 2 saves, but what are we doing here? Like, what are we thinking about trying to finish and figure out who's going to finish this game?
Well, Smith has told us over the last 3.5 weeks or so that he feels like Rysell is going to work his way back in, and that he kind of wants him to work his way back in. That hasn't happened. I mean, yesterday was rough, although he had multiple pretty solid outings before that. I think with what Dylan has done, and Smith mentioned it to us last night, how he's on a pretty solid run, like a consistent run. And after what we saw Dylan do yesterday, I'd be shocked if he's not the de facto closer and there's not a push to get Iglesias back in, because there has been a plan to get Iglesias back in there. And he was going in that direction until last night. But, seeing Dylan strike out Soto with 2 on and 2 out in the 8th in a 1-run game, and then just shut him down in the 9th. So a 4-out save is not something that you see all that often. So I think if it's not cemented in stone yet, that cement's being poured, and it's about to solidify.
Is it Quikrete? Is that the kind of cement it is?
Sure, absolutely. Got that patch on the right arm.
Perfect. Joe.
See, do you like the way I just?
I was
You're
wondering
good.
what I could do to put that into this conversation.
Well,
but
I've known
did
you
it.
Oh,
for a long time, and I expect nothing less.
Well, I no, absolutely, and that's where I'm sitting here and I'm going. You and I usually talk football and all that, but now you got this Braves passion and you're doing it for the Braves and your radio network. And I'm just like, dude, now we're in my wheelhouse with a lot of this stuff that you and I can talk about. And you talk about Iglesias, because there's not many things that we can talk about with the Braves right now where you're going, okay, this is making me nervous. I'm not wanting to be one of your callers and say, hey man, what sucks? This guy sucks. What? Exactly. Again, trust me. I said that if the Braves didn't win it, sweep the Brewers or win 2 out of 3, that they should have done something with Snicker before the Rockies series. So I'll tell you that I said that. But with Iglesias, what is the reasoning? Like, what are we seeing is the reason for this drop off in production and the wishy-washiness of, he's got a couple good outings and then he has a bad outing? Like, why is this happening with him?
He's in his head.
Yes.
There's no doubt in my mind he's in his head. And if you're a closer, that's like the worst place to possibly be, right? And even if he has success, he goes out there and, they say that, they say it about the Yankees and Yankee Stadium, but just a pitcher's mound in general is the loneliest place on earth, right? Mm-hmm. You're out there and it's you and everybody's watching you. And if you do one thing wrong, it can snowball. And in the past, Iglesias didn't care. But this year, he knows that he's not been effective. And so when something goes wrong, he starts thinking, here we go again, just like all of us do. And that's not a good place to be. Whereas Dylan Lee, he just doesn't care. No. He's just like, whatever. He calls it the caveman attitude, where you just kind of go about your business. You go you go kill your animals, you eat your meat, and then you go on. He calls it the caveman mentality, and that's very helpful in a closer's role when you go out there and you just kind of don't even really care. You just go about your business.
Well,
and so Russell used to have that. I don't know if it's capable of coming back, but this year he is a setup man. I'd be shocked if the plan for getting him back in the closer's role is still in existence after what we saw Dylan do.
Well, and Dylan's been pitching well, but you look at today where Spencer Strider is going to be on the mound for the Braves. He had a rough start, man. Like the first few outings, he was like struggle busting it, like 0-5 to start the season. But then these last two, 12 innings pitched, he's only given up like 1 run. Well, I know that obviously he had the injury and is kind of getting back to him, but what have you seen in him when it comes to the fact that he's pitching much better right now than what he was when he first came off the IL?
Well, I mean, we talked to him, and it's like taking an advanced algebra class. I mean, that dude is more analytical than any man I've ever talked to. But he's consistently said when he was struggling that his body wasn't working in harmony together. His legs and his upper half were not working in harmony together, and that's why he was a little erratic. And at the same time, his velocity A wasn't as high as it used to be, but B wasn't being sustainable. I mean, you'd be talking about, 35, 40 pitches, and it's down a miles per hour from where it was at the beginning of the game, much less where he was before. So I think he's had to learn how to pitch a little bit more. It's not a case of, hey, just throw it 100 and let's see if they can hit it. He's got to locate. He's got to use his off speed, and he'll tell you his slider was flat, and he knows it. I mean, he told us the degrees in which it was flat, and we're just like, okay, you clearly know to the exact degree how flat it is, and it's gotten a little sharper, and that's done a huge world of difference to where he is now, and that's just going to continue. Last game, his velocity was up, I think, like a mile per hour more than his average had been previously this season. And he held that velocity longer. So I know you can just say, oh, it's Tommy John. There's a strict sort of rehab process, but he had the internal brace surgery, and not many people have had that. Lucas Giolito did. Sandy Alcantara, who we saw last weekend, had it, but it's not. There aren't many people that have had it. I think there are like 10 or 11 guys who have gotten back to the major leagues, and this thing isn't old. I mean, it's almost brand new surgery, but not many people have done it. So the rehab process, it's still sort of trial and error, and it does feel like now Spencer's on the right track, and they've kind of figured out exactly what they need to do to not only get his velocity going in the right direction, but sustain it while also improving his location and improving his off speed a little bit. So there's a lot that goes into Spencer, both mentally and physically every time you talk to him. But that's the Cliff Notes version of me trying to be a trainer and explain all of the medical advice and terms and statistics that he speaks every time we talk to him. Because the video of Zach Galifianakis at the craps table when all the numbers and square roots and stuff are going through. That's like us when we talk to him. It's just like a different language.
Somebody else who's been kind of back on the right track has been Ronald Acuna Jr. And I think back to what Nick Saban said back in the day, and I know I'm comparing two teams with the letter A on them. But he said great players help good players become great. Is Ronald Acuna kind of falling into that category of a great player that brings up the rest of his roster and help them be great as well?
Yeah, for sure. I think Snit had a little bit of a hard time figuring out who goes in that number 2 spot once he came back, and kind of went with the hot hand. It was Drake, it was Eli, it was Verdugo. Now it's Matt Olson. And, Matt Olson's move up to the 2nd spot was more about a threat than anything else. He really hasn't performed as well as maybe we thought. He's still getting, on base, but the threat of Matt Olson behind Ronald Acuna really has helped Austin. It hasn't really impacted Riley yet, but just the threat of that group, especially with Matt in that number 2 spot, has helped Ronald, and thus those guys are getting better pitches to hit because Ronald's on base all the time. So yeah, it is. It's not as much of a difference as they hope it'll be when Profar comes back, because that's his spot. And once he's there, if he is a threat like we've seen in Gwinnett so far, then, everything kind of gets longer. The whole lineup gets longer. So they still need, Sean to get better, but it's helped Drake immensely because Drake is getting guys on base every time he's at the plate, and we've seen what he's been able to do. So, yeah, elongating that lineup is big. And, I think what we need to see, and we haven't seen it yet, is Michael Harris do what Michael Harris can do. He is in a slump of all slumps, and he needs to be the ninth batter in the lineup. He, I think, wants to be the ninth batter in the lineup. The Braves can't put him there because he's an automatic out. If he starts hitting, then he's going to get a lot of pitches to hit, and then this lineup really becomes dangerous.
No doubt about that. And what, for going back to Acuna, I mean, what has been the biggest difference from the years prior to this year? Of course, him coming back and playing a little bit, I would say a little bit safer than usual, but still getting that same productivity.
Yeah, he's not stealing. Boy, I guess he's got a stolen base yesterday, but he's not really doing that. It's up to him for stolen bases. He always has a green light. He just goes when he feels comfy, and he obviously doesn't feel comfy in that department yet. But I think the way his swing plane is a little different, so he's getting more pop off the ball, and it's not, you're not seeing those moon shots. You're just seeing bullets, and that's something that he worked on quite a bit. He doesn't want to be this guy that goes upper tank all the time. I think he would rather be the guy that tries to put a hole in a seat in left field. So you're seeing a lot of that, and that's ultimately helped him, find grass in the outfield and, find gaps. And so that is, I don't know if that's what was his plan, but it's certainly something we've seen. And that's why, he's batting over 400. He's gotten on base over 500, and he's on a string of four multi-hit games in a row. So I can't imagine what it's going to look like if Profar is what he's been, if he's the guy that he has been in Gwinnett, and they put him at number 2, things are going to get really interesting.
Okay, so before we get to Profar, because we know that's a touchy subject for a lot of people, you're in 680 The Fan, you're overlooking Truist Park. Acuna walks up to the plate for that very first at bat. Can you tell me what your reaction was and how that went whenever he hit the ball?
Just jaw on the floor, oh my God, he's Superman. You can't even make this stuff up with what he does. First pitch home run, his first game back. It got to a point last time he hit that leadoff home run here where I just laughed.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Whatever.
First pitch.
This is
First pitch.
Just playing around now.
Yes. I mean, he's a totally different animal, and people will say, let's drop him down the lineup. I'm going, you don't realize how important he is at the beginning of this lineup. It's not like Kyle Schwarber batting leadoff or anything like that. Acuna can literally change the game on the very first pitches, which is what we saw the other night.
I agree. But I will say this. If Michael Harris and Nick Allen don't pick it up, I would move him down.
Okay.
Because it's one thing to hit home runs early in the game. He's only driving himself in.
Solos.
You only hit once, guaranteed. So if these guys if the bottom of the lineup is not producing, I would put some guys who are in front of him. Even if it's just temporarily, because you're not going to win with solo home runs. And Ronnie does that very, very well at the beginning of the game. But I mean, the inability to get runners on base in front of him from the second inning on is a big, big problem. And they know it. And there's not much they can do about it right now.
No, and you brought up Nick Allen, and again, I've been critical of him as far as at the plate. It's obviously he's batting 223, 225, somewhere around there right now. His bat is not there. Defensively, this guy is absolutely tremendous. Mm-hmm. But now we're getting this point, and we're starting to get to July. You're starting to figure out, Anthopoulos has talked about how the Braves are not going to be sellers at the deadline. So is that a position that the Braves could be looking at to try to upgrade, even though Nick Allen defensively is it's like Rafael Belliard, man. It's just put him in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning, and defensively you're going to be good.
Yeah, they'll make some calls. They're very comfortable with Nick Allen, but they don't want him to bat ninth. They'd like him to bat eighth, because then he can get on base, bunt, small ball, things like that, in order to get people in scoring position for Michael Harris if Michael's better, and then Ronnie. I think they would want him to bat eighth. They're very comfortable with him. And think about what he isn't offensively. He's still got a plus WAR.
Yes.
Like, it's unbelievable how good that guy is.
It's 0.7 right now.
What is it now?
It's 0.7 right now, which Ozuna's only at 1.3, and you've got Riley's at 1.1.
I mean, that tells you everything, right? He's not driving in a ton of runs, but he's saved a ton. He has saved a ton. So I think ideally they would put him at 8, maybe get some small ball going with him, kind of like what Tony La Russa did, hitting the pitcher 8 back in the day, right? That kind of mentality. If Michael's going, because if Michael can start hitting, then you're going to get runners in scoring position for Ronald. So they're going to make calls at shortstop. I don't think they're going to overpay, because Nick Allen is so good. I mean, he is so good defensively.
So then we get to Profar, and obviously you, as long as everybody else, we want to see the Braves playing in October, and we want to see them going deep. We know that Profar is not going to be a part of this, and a lot of Braves fans have kind of been angry with him because of the suspension. You talked about how great he's playing in Gwinnett, how much he can help this team. But at the same time, if he can't help you in October, how are the Braves going to handle this if he does come back into the lineup? He gets you to October, but it's just like Chris Sale not being available for the Mets series, the doubleheader last season. Like, he gets you there, but your best player that's helped the offense isn't going to be in the lineup if you do get to the postseason.
Yeah, in April, that would have been a problem. Now they don't care.
Yeah.
Like, they don't care. They're going to start him. They're going to put him in that number 2 spot, and that's that. In September, if that question is necessary, then they'll address it. They're not going to make trades with that sort of on their minds. They just don't care. There's not a reason to care about that right now. He's just got to get them there. And once they get there, if they get there, then that becomes a problem, but it's not the problem they need to worry about right now. And it's not the problem they are worrying about right now. Because he's kind of the last option, right? They've tried everything. None of it's really working.
No.
Eli White, I think, is very, very helpful for this team. So he's going to stick around, but, you have the playoff thing, but at this point, with where they are record-wise, it's a non-issue, and it's going to be a non-issue until it becomes an issue, and hopefully that is the case later on in September.
Before we let you go, bro, are you just Braves radio now? Are we going to see you walking around the College Football Hall of Fame here in a couple of weeks? How's this working for you now?
Oh no, I'm not football. That's also All-Star week, so.
Yeah.
Taking my son to all the All-Star events, the Home Run Derby, the All-Star game, things like that. So, if they need me to do football after the season, maybe, but I'm working every day, really since mid-March through hopefully the end of November. Hopefully. And, so I kind of am supposed to have, and will have kind of a reverse teacher schedule. So, I would highly doubt I do anything with football while I do this job anymore.
Well, it's going to be weird being over there and not having you kind of around the building, because again, you've been a staple, dude, for as long as you and I have known each other. I mean, heck, seriously, I was telling these guys, I just celebrated 20 years in radio, and I can remember back in 05 and 06 giving you a call, on doing sports talk back then. That's how long that you and I've kind of been around doing this. So it's going to be a little bit weird, but at the same time, I kind of also would love to be at Truist Park. So I get it. I do. I get the whole thing. I just want to be over there.
And I don't want to, talk down to my old sport that I used to cover. It would be exhausting covering that sport right now.
Oh,
I just can't imagine doing what I used to do just this off season.
Yes.
It is. I joked with Chuck Oliver, who does the syndicated show. I was like, look, man, tell me who's on each roster on August 15th and I'll pay attention. Until then, I can't do it. I just cannot. My brain cannot function that way. And look, I love the players getting paid. I love the transfer portal, but the the people who run college football hate college football, and they're ruining it right now because there are a lot of people. Like I was in it from get go. I've been down and dirty with it for 24 years. There are people like I'm exhausted by it. I can't imagine what the casual fan's thinking right now.
Well, and it's crazy. First off, Chuck Oliver's coming up right after us, as a matter of fact. But
yeah, we know.
Also with what you were talking about, I mean, look, yesterday night, it was late yesterday night, the NCAA approved all of these scholarships that we're talking about, where now you have like 105 scholarships for college football, and nobody's talking about it because it's nowhere near the top of the pecking order when it comes to talking about things college football wise.
Well, and you know what? I tell you what's going to happen, and I mean, this is just going to drive so many people away even further. There are going to be players who hold out the night before or the morning of games. And
that's what Nico tried to do.
Like that's going to happen like this year. And at that point, it's just like, okay, you guys really did break this thing, because it's not just this offseason. It's 15 years ago with Mark Emmert. All this thing all of this could be changed, 15, 20 years ago. And they didn't do it. And it's on Mark Emmert. But yeah, I mean, you were going to see players hold out the night before the day of. And at that point, I mean, oh God.
No.
It's going to be rough.
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw it that way. But Barrett, we appreciate your time as
Thanks,
always,
bro.
brother. Let us know where we can always listen to you or find your work.
Yeah, Braves Radio Network. Any radio station that has the Braves Radio Network pregame, postgame. Sometimes we have a pre and a post, which is which is a lot of fun. Those things get kind of weird and wacky, and we just kind of screw around for a little while. So anywhere on the Braves Radio Network, and then we have the podcast Braves Central, Braves Clubhouse Report. Here on 680 The Fan, and Twitter and Instagram and Threads and TikTok, all those things.
Well, how that rain delay go with the Mets the other day? Look, I didn't even know the game had started. That's how bad it was. Like, I saw the rain delay. I saw the tarp on the field. I thought, oh, Barrett's going to have himself a nice little call-in show for a second. The next thing you know, I get an update that the Braves are playing. Like, wait, what the heck happened on there?
That was only a 10-minute one, but I tell you, when Marcelo Ozuna hit the walk-off at like 1 a.m, we had a 3-hour rain delay show, and oh my goodness, oh God. Well, why can't players get paid by the hour? Explain the infield fly. What is a balk?
A balk.
Oh my God.
Well, trust me, there's a pitcher in Major League Baseball right now that needs to know what a balk is, because he got called for 2 of them back to back. So.
Yeah, well, Dylan Lee's done that too. Speaking of Dylan Lee, but those rain delay shows, man, I sit back and I just put my feet up and I'm like, let's go. They're fun, man. But 3 hours. The first one I did was 3 hours, so it was fun.
Yeah, well, we appreciate it, bro. Thank you so much, man. We appreciate it, and enjoy the All-Star weekend. Trust me, that's going to be a little bit more fun probably than what's happening over at the Hall of Fame.
I would imagine. See y'all.
All right, see you, bro. That was Barrett Salee.
What were you doing over there?
You were pointing at yourself a second ago, so I was trying to give you that opportunity. I was like, John.
Oh no,
John.
Because he was talking about the Braves Radio Network.
Okay,
and I was like, yeah, we yes.
If you're watching on WCZN TV, I started jumping up and down like, John, go, John, go. Yeah, no,
I was extremely confused.
I know. See, I was thinking that you were about to say something to him, so that's the reason. All right, now that confusion has been cleared up, let's clear everything else up and wrap up the show when we come back on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone, and WCZN TV.
This is the Blitz with Joe Hunk and John Abraham. 256-576-4977.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
The following liner is courtesy of Frank Caliendo. Check out Frank online at frankcaliendo.com.
Listen to the drive with Wes Neighbors. I mean, Wes played at Alabama and he worked on the sled. I mean, it all comes down to the sled. I mean, I love the sled. Wes knows what I'm talking about. But as for Steve, I mean, Steve, he's one of those guys. The only sled he knows about was the one on Snowy Hill. Boom.
John Abraham here from the Blitz. Look, I love a good party, so why not join me on June 27th at Bobcat of Huntsville as we celebrate their new location on Highway 20 in Madison, right beside Redstone Harley-Davidson. I recently got to check out their massive 13,000 square foot location, and I was amazed. Don't just take my word for it. Come on down to Bobcat of Huntsville and enjoy the day from 10 to 3 p.m. Food, fun, and a whole lot of door prizes will be available, so don't miss out as the Blitz will be live on location June 27th.
I'm here with our good friend John Kendall. He's got 23 years of retail mortgage experience in the Tennessee Valley, and he's powered up with the #1 retail mortgage lender in the nation.
That's right, Scott. We have joined with Cross Country Mortgage, and that is true. We're the #1 retail mortgage lender in America. And with that powerhouse team and our experience here locally, we're ready to go.
They've got 120 mortgage, refinance, and home equity solutions to fit every need. If you call on Cross Country Mortgage, it is for the win.
That's right. You can reach me, Scott, at 256-562-3780, or you can go to crosscountrymortgage.com and then search my name.
It's Cross Country Mortgage and John Kendall, a powerhouse team. One more time, John.
That's crosscountrymortgage.com, 256-562-3780. If we can't close your loan, it simply cannot be closed.
Equal Housing Opportunity Company in MLS, number 3029.
You don't have to go somewhere else just so you can go somewhere new. Plan your next vacation with Huntsville International Airport and Breeze Airways. Enjoy friendly, convenient, nonstop travel to some of the most exciting destinations in the U.S., including the home of 12 world-famous theme parks, Orlando, Florida. With flights starting as low as just $49, Breeze has got you covered with easy, breezy, nonstop flights to Orlando. Make all their dreams come true. Book nonstop to Orlando now at flybreeze.com.
Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Weekday mornings beginning at 7 a.m. only on 97.7 ESPN and the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app.
Last segment, best segment, 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Joe Hunk, Don Abraham, and the Blitz. Don't forget that coming up on Friday, John and myself are going to be out at Bobcat of Huntsville from 9 to 11 doing the show live.
I won't be hungry by the end of the show because there's going to be food on location that you guys are going to be able to get for free if you just stop by the brand new location. It is a gigantic location that'll hold all of the equipment that they've got. And, well, it's all for you. If you guys are working on a small or big project, they got plenty of mini excavators, mini backhoes, anything you need. They got them over there, and you guys can finally get that new pool installed if you're not going to some external party. Or maybe, you know what, you got a company or you want to create a company. Oh, they got wonderful ways that you guys will be able to. Joe, I know you know of some of these ways.
Yes.
And if you are going to get a skid steer, which I don't even know if you know how to drive.
Yeah. I was on the zero turn the other day. It's basically the same thing.
No, it's not the same
It's the
thing.
same thing.
No, it's not.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if I can drive a forklift, I can drive that.
If you could dodge a wrench, you could dodge a dodgeball.
Absolutely. I mean, it's the exact same thing, isn't it?
No, it's not.
I mean, come on.
It's not the same.
Look, you give me some switches and a key, I got you.
Bobcat of Huntsville, be ready because we're going to put Joe inside some of your equipment and see if he knows what he's doing in that heavy machinery.
You guys forget just how big of a redneck that I can be.
It's not about being a redneck. It's about being forklift certified.
No, I'm just saying, I've driven a forklift. I've done all of that. Like, dude, at the VBC, I literally did everything.
Where's your license, Joe? This is
says-
all under the table?
Like, it's so much under the table. Please. Please. It wasn't hey, do you got your license? We need somebody to be able to move this crate. Yeah. No, it was, hey, go hop on that one. We need you to move this one over.
That makes sense.
Okay? Come on.
Come on.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah. You know what? We'll have a little race then. Fine. If
Do you have your electrical degree? How much electrical stuff have you done around this building? Okay.
It wraps around the entire building.
256-576-4977. Brandon, welcome into the Blitz.
If the lights go out suddenly, then don't blame John for the electrical, I wouldn't guess.
Look, I'm telling you, with as much work as we all did on this radio station, there's probably a few licenses that we probably needed that we didn't do.
I don't know if I didn't set up any of the lights. That's the good thing. I set up the stuff that actually keeps this station on the air, I believe. So, and the telephone lines.
So I made some calls yesterday and talked to some people that have been in sports for a long time.
Okay.
And spoke to my boy that I mentioned yesterday. I'm going to say his name because he's cool with it. Jay King. He was the fullback for Auburn, blocked for Newton back in 10.
Nice.
And I called up Ricky Austin. I said, okay. I said, how many years of coaching experience between you, your wife, and your sister-in-law? And he said 92. I said 92 years between the three of y'all. And he said, yes. He said, plus all the years we played. I said, how many times you ever seen somebody thrown out of a game? He said, 4, and I was involved in 2 of them. I said, really? He said, yeah. He said, back in 95, he said, I had to take over for our boys coach who got thrown out. He said, and then back this last year at a Christmas tournament, he said the referee kept coming at him and bothering him and trying to start something with him. Said he was shocked. And he told him, he's like, well, I can't help it. You make bad calls. So he told him that 2 or 3 times, and he threw him out. And I said, have you ever heard of anybody being thrown out of a playoff game or a championship game? He said, no, that is the most criminal thing I've ever heard of.
Oh, it absolutely is. No, I mean, it's, and that's the part of this that is the biggest deal is, you know, I think it was, I don't know if you were on the phone or not. We were talked about it, is like, you should have had a bigger leash.
Step down.
Yeah. You should have had look, I have every right now to throw you out based on the NCAA rule book. I have every right to do that. I am not going to, and I don't want to do that in this situation. If you do have a question with my calls, I get it. I understand. But based on the rule, because the NCAA, I believe, even posted the rule about arguing balls and strikes, you cannot do this right now. And if you do, and you keep doing it, I do have to throw you out, and I don't want to in this situation on this stage. Like, you have to have that sort of a thought process.
One of the guys that I work with on my day job, he retired back at the end of May. He has been a referee for 40 years. Baseball, football, basketball. He's called some state championship football games. And he flat out told me, he said, when you get to a point where it's people's job to be a coach, he said, I've thrown out one person that was a coach, that was a paid coach in 40 years. He said, I've thrown out more people from 1st grade to 5th grade. He said, 100 times over, he said, than I have from middle school up. I said, have you ever in 40 years, thrown somebody out of the playoff game? He said, parents. He said, but I've never thrown a coach.
Those parents can get a little dicey sometimes. You gotta kick the parents out.
Oh, absolutely. No, absolutely.
Just out of the complete vicinity of everybody else.
So he's thrown out about 30 parents and no coaches, and never even heard of anybody getting thrown out in playoffs ever in a 40-year career.
Well, it was definitely intriguing to see. So at least we could say that it happened, and we can check it off the bucket list if you were looking forward to it. But still going to be something that Coastal Carolina and Kevin Schnall and that whole organization is going to be kicking himself for. But Brandon, we're running up against the time, man. Appreciate you calling in, giving us some insight, man.
Thanks, bro.
Hope it's Botello next time.
Well, we can only hope. For me and Joe, we are out of here. We'll see you guys in 22 hours. Peace.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryrentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
Hey folks, Bob Baumhauer here. We're extremely proud that Baumhauer's Victory Grill has been serving Alabama for 43 legendary years. Our motto is legendary fun, legendary food, and we strive to make every dining experience a special one for all of our guests. Our menu features delicious, always fresh and scratch-made in-house recipes. And of course, our award-winning wings and sauces. And don't forget, our happy hour and halftime daily specials cannot be beat. Baumhauer's Victory Grill, legendary fun, legendary food.
I'm Jeff Jr., founder and CEO of Trajan Wealth. I was born and raised in northern Wisconsin by both my father, who owned a small 10-lane bowling alley, and my mother, who was a nurse, who did her best caring for everyone in our small town. My parents stressed with me that if you were going to do anything, it needed to be done right or not done at all. I later joined the Marine Corps, where additional values were instilled. Values like honor, courage, and commitment. The motto of the Marine Corps, Semper Fi, which means always faithful. The best part of Trajan Wealth, our 100-plus employees who also embrace the exact same values. If your current financial advisor is more interested in selling you something or is more loyal to their own financial gain than yours, give us a call for a second opinion. We would be honored to hear from you. Call Trajan today, 256-208-9000. That's 256-208-9000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
What does it mean to be a part of the Southeastern Conference? That you scheduled your wedding and even your child's birth around your school's game? Of course. But it means more than that. It means you're home to hundreds of Fulbright, Truman, Goldwater, and Rhodes Scholars. It means starting out as the birthplace of American public higher education, and now leading the way in unmanned spacecraft. This is the SEC. And here, it just means more. What does it mean to be a part of the Southeastern Conference? That there's an honest-to-goodness chandelier in your tailgate tent? Perhaps, but it means more than that. It means pioneering medical solutions to predict new flu viruses. It means leading globally diverse teams to eliminate starvation in developing countries. And it means being home to one of the nation's top cybersecurity programs. This is the SEC. And here, it just means more.
This is Sports Setup.
Good morning. I'm Doug Brown. ESPN's Shams Charania reports the third person to interview for the Knicks head coaching job is Timberwolves assistant Micah Norrie. He joins former NBA head coaches Mike Brown and Taylor Jenkins, who interviewed earlier. The Knicks fired Tom Thibodeau 3 weeks ago. Shams also reports the Celtics will trade Drew Holiday to the Trailblazers. In return, Boston gets Anthony Simons and 2 second-round picks. The Celtics save $40 million in luxury tax payments, and Holiday returns to Portland, who sent him to Milwaukee in the 2023 Damian Lillard trade. Baseball Monday night, the Angels beat the Red Sox 9-5 with 4 runs in the 8th, the third loss in a row for Boston, and the second ejection in a row for manager Alex Cora. In San Diego, the Nationals beat the Padres 10-6. James Wood drives it.
This will turn journalism on its ear.
Watch our stream on WZZN TV on Twitch and YouTube.
But you are the greatest hero in American history.
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
It's Joe Ain't You on ESPN Radio on the ESPN app.
Busy offseason for the Celtics underway. Boston trading guard Drew Holiday to the Trailblazers for Anthony Simons.
I don't think it's all that bad of a move for Portland. Anthony Simons is going to be a huge lift for Boston. Drew gives Portland some veteran experience that they badly need. I don't think the trade is lopsided by any stretch of the imagination.
And maybe this offseason, instead of being the season of superstars moving, this might be the offseason of the role play.
I can't think of a better way to undersell that trade than by flipping together